once again. Okay. Alright, so for my presentation, I chose to Kung Fu Panda from 2008 as my film to analyze using two critical communication theories. So for the film summary, Kung Fu Panda follows Po, an enthusiastic but clumsy panda who dreams of becoming a Kung Fu master. When he is unexpectedly chosen as the prophesied dragon warrior by Master Oogway, he must train under the legendary but skeptical Master Shifu alongside the Furious Five. When Tai Lung, a powerful enemy from the past, escapes prison and threatens the valley, Po must overcome self-doubt and physical limitations to unlock his true potential. Through perseverance, trust building, and unconventional training, Po proves that being different can be a strength and becomes the unlikely hero that he was destined to be. Alright, so the reason why I chose Kung Fu Panda is because it's entertaining, but it approaches the dynamics between different characters on a deeper level. The film explores mentorship and self-discovery and interpersonal relationships. The character dynamics between mainly Po and Master Shifu is an example of communication, has big examples of communication theories, especially in the context of analyzing growth through interaction, through common interaction between humans or animals. All right. So the two theories that I chose to apply to the film was the social penetration theory. This theory means that relationships are developed by layers of disclosure, so through one-on-one interactions and conversations with each other. So, you know, when you first meet somebody, it's very kind of superficial, polite, small talk, but the more you get to know somebody, the deeper conversations start to get, the more intimate conversations start to be, and you form like this emotional intimacy with somebody the longer and the more you have these conversations with them. And then the second theory that I chose to apply to this movie was the interaction adaptation theory. People adjust communications behaviors based on RED, which is requirements, expectations, and desires. So this focuses on the ability to reciprocate and compensate in behavior. So like when people perceive, when people perceive when people expect, when things aren't going the way that they expect the conversation to go, or for people to act, they either adapt and adjust their way of speaking, or they compensate and do the opposite, and they're really dismissive or cold and negative, things like that. All right. So social penetration theory in the film. Early on in the film, you see that after Po is chosen as the Dragon Warrior, Master Shifu is very immediately dismissive of Po. He doesn't really want Po there. He thinks that Po doesn't fit in, that he's not worthy of being, doesn't outright say it, but you know, he doesn't believe that Po is worthy of being the Dragon Warrior. So the interactions between the two of them is very superficial and emotionally distant. You know, not on the same scale that normal people would, because it was a lot more hostile given the circumstances. But you know, you kind of get that, and it's a different type of variety. It's a different type of superficially, like that initial stage of interactions in the social penetration theory. Shifu perceives Po as unworthy, and Po like hides his insecurity behind enthusiasm. And this is like this layer is like the orientation stage. Polite is used I say polite in my presentation very loosely. Like I said, it was very hostile, very cold, very dismissive behavior from Master Shifu, but still Po was still enthusiastic. All right. So As the movie progresses and tensions are rising, and this threat is becoming more of a problem in the story. Shifu's beginning to realize that they do need a warrior, and Poe was chosen to be the warrior, so he has to step up to the challenge. And they have an honest conversation about it. They go back and forth, and it's in this interaction that Poe is finally able to, he breaks down in a sense, and he's like, you never believed in me. Like, how do you expect me to become the Dragon Warrior when you never believed in me at all? Like, you only believe in me, or you're only trying to push me now because, there's a threat coming. It's unfortunate, but like in this conversation, that's when Shifu finally acknowledges Poe as the Dragon Warrior. After this, though, after that heated moment, the next morning, there's a understanding that begins to happen between them. Their depth of conversation go past just like very dismissive, angry, hostile conversations to them actually trying to see eye to eye with each other, from generally just that one interaction between them. So like their depth of conversation increases, which is like, an example of like, peeling back the layers, like in the theory of like, onions, like the more you peel back, the, deeper you get to connect with somebody, the deeper you have an understanding of how this person is and how this person operates. So the theory put in option is that Shifu begins to observe Poe's natural strengths through more interactions with him, and instead of being like this gung-ho trainer and this gung-ho master trying to mold Poe into this warrior, he chooses to adapt his training from his traditional training to fit Poe's personality, because Poe's not like everybody else. He's different. He's a panda. So they have a training sequence, and they have this emotional exchange, and the exchange that they have is like, now they're finally on common ground, because of all these interactions. Like the honesty in the interactions that they've had now is allowing them to be understanding of each other, and it's allowing them to grow in their relationship with each other. So it's like, it's an exchange level. It's really effective. It allows them to be vulnerable and them to connect on a